What to begin?
There we go. 1d4 by Vincent. Not a surprise. Magnus looks like he just stepped out of the shower. He probably did.
Exactly. I mean, whenever the players play in the same hotel, yeah, there is a chance that you are running a little bit late, and also you have to fight with the elevator and so on. But Magnus is there, and we are waiting for his first move. It's another mind game. We have seen Magnus not rushing with his first move.
It's the which says it all. We are 1 or 2 moves away from the conclusion of this incredible game by the young German talent. What a moment this will be in his chess career. I don't like to exaggerate, but any win over Magnus Carlsen in a classical tournament of any kind is a momentous occasion in the development of a young chess player.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a historical moment for him on the
Knight
board.
C3.
Knight C3 played.
Okay. So king D4. He wants to go back to E2 and involve his king to C4.
Yes, but basically, I mean, I guess every single move wins, but okay, you have to win it. However, the
Yeah.
good news for Vincent is that with the last couple of moves, he also accumulated quite some time.
D6.
D6 played.
King C6, though. King C6.
And then E5.
And then, I guess king to... No, you can't go king D5 because the D-pawn promotes. Yeah, black is running out of ideas. Look at that knight on D3. I guess knight D5 check there, Peter. Trying to go knight takes F4, squeezing the last trick out of the position.
But I'm gonna play king D2.
And stop the pawn that way.
Exactly, not gonna fall for any provocation.
Just shut it down, shut down that B pawn, and keep that knight on D3 to guard the linchpin, the F4 pawn. Without that pawn, without accessing it, black cannot win any of the other pawns.
Yes, exactly.
There we go. There's E5. I mean, the moves basically play themselves at this point.
Yeah, he just protects all his pawns.
Magnus did not go far. No. Not much to fight for here. You're right, Peter. King D2, King C1, and King B2. That's going to be the winning idea. Once you win B3, you are 3 pawns up.
Yes, and basically, black can do nothing against white's construction. Yeah, the only vulnerable pawn F4 is protected by the knight, which before took excellent care of the B pawn. Knight protects the F4 pawn, and white's king is just slowly walking towards the B3 pawn.
That's it. There's literally nothing to fight for. Every move, you lose the pawn. King D7, Knight C5 check. Knight D5 check, King D2. At this point, it doesn't matter who's sitting across from you. If it's Magnus or a 3-headed dragon, this one's over. And black can't even sack the knight for the pawns because white's got too many of them on the king side and in the center.
Exactly. Yeah, it looked a bit shaky. Yeah, that Vincent spent a little bit more time than he needed. On the other hand, the position was complex, and he made sure that he calculates everything to the slightest detail, and he proved right.
And to convert any endgame against Magnus Carlsen in so smooth a fashion is also what impressed me. It's not just the fact that he seized his opportunity, but also that he traded rooks, which was a very mature decision. It was a hard decision because he left Magnus with this outside passer on B5. And Vincent realized that even though his own pawn majority was less advanced, that it would ultimately decide the game. And it just has a historical moment. Vincent Keimer defeats Magnus Carlsen, the highest rated player in the world in chess history. In the first, he pump faked us. Okay, that's more like it. I believe that is 1 E4 from Carlsen. Vincent responding with E5. And the second question.
What to begin?
There we go. 1 D4 by Vincent. Not a surprise. Magnus looks like he just stepped out of the shower. He probably did.
Exactly. I mean, whenever the players play in the same hotel, yeah, there is a chance that you are running a little bit late, and also you have to fight with the elevator and so on. But Magnus is there, and we are waiting for his first move. It's another mind game. We have seen Magnus not rushing with his first move. Of course, Magnus does not miss chances like this. Yeah, king b3 will be played if already king b4 happened.
A1 is protected. That bishop on c3, that's the game-winning piece. It's controlling every important square on the entire chessboard. It's controlling a1, d2, a5, any square that the black rook could use for defensive purposes, that bishop is controlling.
Yes. I mean, there is another defense with rook e2, a6, bishop c8, a7, bishop b7, but it's also such a passive defense that I don't believe at all. And okay, we don't believe in anything anymore. White will just win with rook d4, activating the rook.
And the debilitating thing, that pawn on h5 still holding black's pawns on dark squares. So in certain situations, white doesn't even have to promote the a-pawn. White can go rook d7 and start collecting the kingside pawns. Rook takes g7 and rook h7. Way too many angles and avenues that white could take to win this game. Unfortunately for Vincent, I mean, this is Resign's territory.
Yes, and basically an incredible illustration of how big dangers there are in opposite colored bishop positions. Seemingly there is very little material. Yeah, rook e2 is played, but I mean the quality of the pieces, and if one side has the upper hand, the other side is so tied to defense, and you can't really defend passively such positions. Magnus shows incredible technique, and now it's really just a matter of time when the game ends.
What a match. What an incredible 2 games. And both players have had their amazing moment in the sun. It was Vincent's time yesterday, but today Magnus Carlsen showing why there is a strong case to be made that he is one of, if not the greatest endgame player of all time. His ability to make something out of nothing, his storied ability to convert wins out of seemingly thin air. It's not an exaggeration. He does it time and time and time again. He does it on demand. He does it in any time control. And he just always seems to find the one way to put the maximum amount of problems, no matter who he's facing and no matter what kind of form his opponent is in. Bishop h3 by Vincent. He goes for the first defensive approach. And I still think that a7 and rook e4 is going to end the game right then and right there.
Yes, exactly. I mean, look at this. Vincent is already looking at the distance. He is thinking about, what went wrong, where it went wrong. And yeah, a7, rook e8.
And Peter, the feeling he's going to experience when he realizes that knight takes e4 would have potentially sent Magnus packing, that's, I think, what's going to be hard for him to deal with. And that's what he's going to have to push out of his mind. Because tomorrow's tiebreakers, and he doesn't have to lose them if he plays well.
Exactly. And the point is that yesterday he discovered this incredible tactic with knight takes d5 from a distance, yeah? This is the point that there he believed that this is a natural outcome, but here it was so unexpected.
It came out of nowhere. It was a crazy construction with 2 randomly undefended pieces on h4 and e2. Magnus saw it. You know he saw it by his reaction. And at the end of the day, Magnus Carlsen is so hard to bring down.
Yeah, after he got his position, yeah, it was very hard. I mean, Magnus was trying something like for 25 moves, setting up that position that he reached before the time control, where he understood that he managed to control everything, and now he can try to break through. And even this was like a tempo play. After the time control, it still looked like it could be possible for Vincent to defend, but not with this time.
It's so important to clarify that Vincent didn't play this endgame badly. I actually think Vincent played an excellent endgame. We keep coming back to the same thing, which is that it's almost impossible to pinpoint his mistakes. You can't say exactly where he went wrong. Where was the decisive error? Okay, maybe you could claim the decisive error was bishop g2, allowing rook f4, but let's be real. At that point, the position was already practically indefensible. And that just tells us of one thing, which is the extent of Magnus Carlsen's virtuosity in the endgame. He can win games without clear mistakes by his opponents. That's what the greats do.
Yeah, just the structure. Yeah, this harmony, these dark squares, the way how he opened up with a timely, everything worked to perfection. Unbelievable performance.
Vincent.
And yeah, now the rest is formality, of course. Yeah, rook e7.
C5, nice idea, obviously, to play bishop g2 and to connect the bishop and the rook, making it as difficult as possible for white to dislodge the rook from a8. But Magnus will take on g7, and then I think go rook h7, and he could even capture the pawn on h6 using a little tactical trick with rook h8 and rook h7. That'll win the black
he can
rook.
also do. He can also play rook b7, provoking bishop g2, and then rook takes g7, capture the bishop. It's also possible. Everything wins.
Oh, yeah. Very true. And with 25 minutes, I mean, this is pure agony at this point for Vince. Just kind of waiting for Magnus to choose the winning approach.
Yeah, basically, it's not about this game. It's just coming to terms, yeah, that he was so close. He felt like he believed that he can hold this position against Magnus. But Magnus just shows his beautiful technique. Yeah, rook b7 on the board.
Yeah, it's that debilitating inevitability that you know Magnus is going to find the best moves. You reach a point and you just know that you've lost the thread, and no matter what you do, Magnus will see the correct path forward. Rook b7, threatening rook b8 check, and bishop g2. Rook returns, captures g7 with a fork on the rook and the bishop. Vincent might resign here.
Yes, you basically have to design. No matter how much it hurts, there is nothing you can do.
We can all sympathize with the pain. The pain is immense. The pain of knowing that you had that chance. It was right there. But it's up to the greats and to the chess professionals to push that pain away. It's a 1-1 score. They're going to play a tiebreaker tomorrow, and there's the handshake. Magnus Carlsen wins on demand. He defeats Vincent Keimer after his loss yesterday with a beautiful endgame display.